Hello everyone, welcome back to Motuts, Motion Made Easy. My name is Jon Navarro, and today we'll be bringing you another motion title tutorial inspired by the HBO series The Leftovers. Now this title tutorial is inspired by their Season 2 credit opening, so let's take a quick look at it. So you can see based on how this is set up that there's going to be a couple of elements we're going to need. And I'm going to break this down into 3 basic elements. I want to get into it quickly because it seems based on the analytics that you guys only watch for about 2 minutes. So we're going to try to get this one done in relatively a short amount of time. So the 3 elements we're going to need is a background image that looks like a foggy field, a star field, and then the text. So let's get started by going into Motion. Open up a Motion project. I want to set this to 1080p broadcast HD, and I want to set the frame rate to 24 frames per second. And we're going to make this a 10-second comp and click open. Now we're going to create our 3 groups. This bottom group we're going to title background, middle group is going to be space, and the top group is going to be title. Now, normally with my tutorials, I like to use assets that are pre-built into Motion. And to do that, we would have to make this tutorial longer than what I really want to make it. So for the background image, you can go into Google and you can just do a search for foggy field and then just go into the images and pick something that is appropriate. Of course, I already have my image, but you guys get the general idea. And for the space background, NASA recently made their space catalog open to the general public. So if you type in NASA video catalog, click on this first link, you can then just do a search for Milky Way images and just click one of the images that you feel are appropriate. So now that we have our assets downloaded, let's get started. I'm going to pull in the space image that we downloaded from NASA, and I'm also going to pull in the foggy field background that I downloaded earlier as well. First thing I want to do is fit everything into the window. Then I want to hit Shift V just so that I can view the outside boundaries. For this background, I want to go into the inspector and I want to adjust the properties. Right now, the scale is at 28% and I want it to be 35%. Now for the space background, all I want is this Milky Way space section. I don't need the rest of this. So let's click on that background and let's increase the scale to 150%. And that should be wide enough to cover the text that we're going to be using as the image mask. So now let's click on the text layer. Let's click on our text tool and let's write our text. We're going to do 2 separate text here. And you'll see why in a moment. So the top, and then leftovers, the bottom. For a moment, I just want to turn this space layer off because it's distracting me a little. I just want to reset the position of the text layer. Select both, select properties, and let's just reset. And I want to increase the font size and move the anchor point down. Now let's select this, reposition that. I want to make the text layer, we'll say 75, and move the X position minus 375. Move that up to 25. Okay. Now we need to change the actual font. Now the font I used here is a font called Real Black Personal. So just click that and we'll readjust the layer. Go into properties. And I also want to make that all caps, 100%, just so that it matches. So now let's turn the space layer back on. This is a pretty straightforward effect. So what we're going to do is with the space layer turned on, we're going to go to Object, Add Image Mask or Shift Command M. And then for the source, we're going to drag and drop this leftovers title into the source window. And there you have it. Pretty straightforward. With this layer, I want to reduce the opacity a little bit. I'm going to say 75%, just so that it's semi-transparent and we can see through the other side. And then the last part of this is really just creating a camera and animating the camera so that the space background looks like it's moving. So let's add a new camera. We will be switching this to a 3D layer. I want to make the background 2D because we're only going to animate this part. And then I just want to hit the record button. So we're going to track in about that much. Then we're going to go to about 5 seconds. and we're going to just double click this to reset the position. If we play that back, you'll see that zooms out, and then once it gets to the final position, space needs to look like it's still moving. So what we're going to do here is turn off the record button, and in the space layer, open that up, click the image, go into the properties, and we're going to set a position keyframe. We're going to be adjusting the Z position, and we just want that to keep going out. So we're going to move this back into Z space as far as we can without compromising the mask, and that's good enough. If we play this back now, you see we have our basic camera move, and then space still moves. Now what I'd like to do is I want the space to be moving throughout, so I'm just going to bring this key point to the beginning of the animation, and this way we get some general movement throughout the entire title animation, and that's it, guys. There you have it. So the only thing left to do here is add a basic fade on, fade out to the whole project. Select all 3 layers and fade in, fade out. And then for the fade in, what we want to do is make sure all 3 are selected, and we want to adjust the fade in to be 10 instead of 20 so that it comes in quick. Now when we play this back, we have a nice little fade in, and we have our title animation. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this motion title tutorial inspired by the HBO hit series, The Leftovers. Again, my name is Jon Navarro. If you liked this tutorial, please click the like and subscribe button. Don't forget to share with your friends. And you can tune in every Monday at 9 p.m. for our Motion Mondays. That's when we will air our new motion tutorials. And if you have any questions, comments, suggestions for future tutorials, please leave those in the comments section below. I'll also be leaving links to the font that I used for this tutorial, as well as links to the other websites where I got the resources. Alright guys, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next week.